Hey guys, what's going on? It is Justin from Nintendo Dads, and I am here for my review of the Wired Pro, Pro Controller, Wired Controller Plus from Powerade, official Nintendo product. We got our hands on it. So I thought I'd give a little bit of my hands-on review with it. So first and foremost, the thing I would say is I've been playing with it. I enjoy it. It's a good controller. I love the design of it. You can tell it's Mario. I got the Mario one. This is available in the UK, in Europe, at the beginning of September, which is how I was able to get my hands on it. But for anyone in North America, you don't get it till the end of October. So there's two different ones. There is the Mario one and there is the Zelda one. Again, there's the Mario one. Really enjoy it. This is the only one that was available to me, but check that out. Just in time for Mario Odyssey. This is a great controller. And I do have to start off by saying this is a great controller. There's a lot of things I do like about it, but when you compare it to something like this, the Pro Controller, there's some things that are different. So first and foremost, one of the first things I would say is that its familiarity, its scheme, its sizing, button placement is all pretty much the exact same. And this shouldn't be shocking because it's a Nintendo official product. They worked with Powerade to create it. But there are some things I do need to make sure that you're aware of. It is a wired controller. A wired controller, not a wireless controller. So in the box, you're provided a 10-foot USB cable. And 10 feet does sound like a lot of USB cable, especially when you compare it to some of the other things that Nintendo's been doing. I'm looking at you, NES Classic. 10 feet is a lot of cable. However, 10 feet isn't a lot of cable. I have a relatively small living room where I play my video games, and I plugged it in. Obviously, this goes into your USB port on the side of your dock. This then goes into your controller. And actually, if you look at this, it's actually, you can see the camera's gonna pick it up. It is actually recessed in there. So you've actually got a little bit of ways to push it in to actually make sure it fits in there. So, oh, there you go, hold on. So it is actually a little bit of a push in, a little bit of a squeeze, but it gets in there. But I digress. I'm sitting in my living room, 10 feet. Basically, I'm able to sit comfortably in my couch and play, but 10 feet's really not a lot. Like, there was a little bit of slack on the ground, but you probably, if this was more like a 15-foot cord, I think you'd really have a winner there, but 10 feet's not bad, but not great. Just be aware of that if you're someone who maybe has all your consoles tucked away right against maybe your cabinet or whatever, and you don't have a lot of space, and maybe one of the reasons why you bought a wireless controller is the fact that you have a lot of distance. Wireless controllers, there's no limit, basically, right? So it's great. A couple other things that I thought were really neat in the box as well is that the actual the C sticks are actually interchangeable, so you can actually pop them off, and they provide you 4 other ones that you can put on, and there's different heights to them. Some of them are rounded tops as opposed to pressed in, so you can just very easily kind of slide those on. You give it a little bit of a push, and there you go. So I've got some new kind of nubs on there. So depending on your style, depending on what game you're playing, that's actually kind of nice, really interchangeable, really comfortable. I was actually having my wife try the system out, or try the console out, and she actually said she didn't like the recessed in ones. So I quickly grabbed the controller, popped on the kind of pushed out nub ones, and she said she really liked it, and it changed her experience a little bit. So really cool interchangeableness. I like that a lot. A couple other things I would say about this controller. There is no gyroscopic motion or whatever it is. So I was playing Mario Kart and I was shaking my controller, kind of trying to do back flips and stuff and tricks, and it wasn't happening. Of course not. There's no gyro in this, okay? So that's one thing that's missing. Second thing that's missing, it's actually kind of really subtle that you kind of don't even notice until you're playing it, is you're actually missing rumble. There is no rumble associated with this either. So it's not in the options, it's just not in here. There's no rumble functionality. And then the third thing, if you're really kind of a big fan, there's no NFC. There's no amiibo capability associated with this. So that can be a little bit of a bugger as well, depending on if it's something that you really, really need. Again, when I go back to this, gyro, NFC, rumble are all built into this package. So that's kind of nice. I like that. Going back to this, it feels a little bit light, which shouldn't be shocking. There isn't as much in here, right? There isn't a wireless reader. There isn't an NFC. There's no rumble. So it does feel a little bit light in the hands at times. Not necessarily saying it's a bad thing, but if you've been playing with one of these for a long time and are used to that weight, this may take a little bit of a shift. The trigger buttons back here are actually more pushed up, if you can see those, as opposed to kind of pushed down. So that's a little bit weird. Like again, I was playing, letting my wife and I were playing, and she kind of said she really noticed that. It kind of didn't feel as comfortable in relation to those trigger buttons, but I didn't really have a huge issue with it. Other than that, I mean, you know, playing with it's great. You know, there's no latency. I was playing Rabbids, I was playing ARMS, I was playing Mario Kart, plugged in via the USB cable, and there's no latency. There's no challenges with it. I had no problems. Thought it played really nicely. So I thought that was really great. Again, I love the design of it. It feels familiar and comfortable. All the buttons function the way they're supposed to. And again, not a huge shock. This is officially a product from Nintendo, so you would expect these things to work. So I've talked about kind of things I don't like about it. Let me tell you what I do like about it. The price point. The price point is really great. This cost me €30 over here in Ireland, and this cost me €75. So this is half the price of a Pro controller. So you can get two for less than it would cost for you for a Pro controller. So if you want to have like an additional Pro controller, maybe have friends coming over, you like that experience, they like playing with that versus a Joy-Con setup, they don't have their own, this might be a great alternative and a great solution for you to have available. Again, easily plug it into your USB port and you're set up. Yeah, I mean, it's a good controller. A couple of things that I guess would kind of make me think about this as well. I can't travel with this, right? When I travel, I just bring my Switch in its handheld mode. So this would not do me any good. I don't bring my dock with me. So this does me no good if I'm not carrying my dock, because you need that USB port. So that's a little bit of a bugger as well. But I think for €30, it's a really great controller to pick up. Definitely something you should think about adding to your collection. Yeah, and I'm really quite happy with it. So guys, that is my review of the Wired Controller Pro or Plus, I can't remember, from Nintendo and Power A. And again, it's available in Europe right now, early September 2017, and in late October 2017 for North America. Thanks very much, guys, and thanks very much for watching and listening to Nintendo Dads. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.